it's funny you mentioned Alex. Like I've got his book like sitting, just happened to be sitting here on my desk,
Right.
and like that's a fantastic book.
Oh, there's no
But
doubt the guy's really, really smart.
yeah,
Like
fantastic book. And some of his stuff, like I watched a YouTube video of his the other day, was incredible. But I don't like most of his tweets.
yeah, I mean, and that's I think what it is. Like everybody has, I think it's part of that where it's like they've got to do the tweets for engagement. You're trying to grow the audience, and you have to say things like you have to say things that are not outlandish, but you have to make stretch claims. Not have to, but it seems like you have to make stretch claims to be able to like get real traction. But like with somebody like Alex and his wife, it's like you hear them talk about things and they're really smart, but like never see, like I want to see it, like these businesses that you own and you're telling everybody that you're doing, $100 million or whatever. Like, okay, show me the businesses. Like, I want to see what those look like. That's what I'm interested in. And they never
Sure.
really seem, at least on the surface, they never seem to show it unless you buy something, I guess. Maybe I don't even know what they sell. He says he has nothing to sell you, but I think that he's just trying to acquire companies. But then it's
Well,
like
I think his thing is like, I have nothing to sell you. I'm going to give you all the information to help you get to 3 million. And then at that point, if you're interested in working with us, that's when.
But then that's what I want to know. What I really want to know, just as a business owner, is like, okay, are you buying a minority stake in a company and then claiming that all of the revenue is yours? Or are you buying majority stakes? Or are you buying them outright? Like when it comes to like the big number income claims, I'm like, oh, there's so much
Right.
just like nonsense that you can do with numbers like that. Especially when you're talking about acquisitions, like, okay, you own 10% of $1 million company. And so are you saying that you do $1 million and you run that company for $1 million a year?
Right.
So I don't know. That's the stuff. What I wish they would share, and maybe they do somewhere. And maybe I just haven't done a good enough job of like really digging in and trying to follow. What I wish these like guru people would share is like, okay, cool. Like operationally, how do you acquire, like the business owner, wants to know that. Like, how do you acquire a company like that? And then like inject your operations into what they're doing. Like, I want to see that. I want to see what that looks like. Cause that's really interesting to me, but I don't, it's like the stretch claims of like, we're doing 100 million a year and we own 5 companies. It's like, okay, well, you own like a supplement company and like what does that actually mean? How much money do you actually get?
It's similar to like the Gary V concept of I'm talking about all the big trending, social media stuff, showing you that I know how to use social media. I know how to grow an audience. Like I know how to have authority. I've made money before. And then like, that's the social proof to get the real clients. Like Gary V's audience is not the people consuming, like his customers aren't the people consuming the social media. It's then Pepsi goes, oh, he knows how to get eyeballs. I'm going to go hire him. And it's kind of the same with Alex. And, it's really interesting. I went a couple months ago, I went to a conference in Houston. It was a lot of mindset people, but there was some business stuff too. I went to go visit Brian Grasso, go meet him in person for the first time. And one of the speakers was somebody named Martha Creaky. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's like Krejci, I think. One of the things that really stood out to me from her speaking was that you have to be teaching the basic 101 level stuff to even be in the conversation. And so when you're coming up with your social media strategy and you're putting content out there, you have to be talking about that beginner level stuff, even if you want to work with the more advanced people, because you need the reach. And I think this is a lesson that we kind of learned, last year with our Course Growth Accelerator program, is that, we have some amazing clients that have this business that are trying to scale. But we were reaching so many people that were just like, how do I start? How do I create a course? We were trying to help people market and scale. Yeah. And you have to go and talk about the creation and what tool do you host on and all of the beginner stuff to get out there. But that's how you get the attention of like, well, as it's going to that more advanced person is in that category. And so I do wonder, with that, like how much of it is, maybe he's not talking about like, how do I acquire, how do you do this, that, and the other, but that's how you reach those people. That's what I think about. So it's tough, man, because I totally understand what you're saying, where you're coming from. I guess I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit.
I don't mind.
And I think it's like, and I don't know the answer, but I think like, I get it from a marketing perspective, but like, that's the stuff I want to know too, but I'm more interested in the advanced stuff like you are. And that's not most people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just interesting to me. I think it's just because I'm naturally becoming skeptical of like social
Sure.
media. Because I'm just the questions that go through my mind are like, okay, well, if you're so successful and you're doing $100 million a year and who knows what that means? Like, why are you tweeting? You know, like why aren't you just growing the operations of your company and just like expanding that instead of like trying to do something else? You know what I mean? Like it's like the energy where they're spending their energy is interesting to me. But